Maelstrom. Need help with playing position 3. Normally go position 1. Got destroyed so hard this game. Need tips on what to do better as position 3. Alright. You probably got tried it. Let's see what happens. Ah, you're against Monkey. If you know you're gonna have a really hard time in the lane, you always wanna, whether you're mid or off lane or carry, you wanna disrupt the creep wave. Like you wanna make it push or you wanna make it pull. Like you don't want it stable. So I think because it's Doom versus like fucking like the Monkey King, what you had to do was after you eat this bounty rune, you wanna focus on blocking with only one creeps, with like letting the one creep go in front. Okay? Okay. Let one creep go in front. So it pushes against you. Here, don't go to the lion. What in God's name are you gonna help with Devour? You gotta be, oh thank God the fucking lion is creating space, and just ignore the lion and just focus on your CS. This is so good that the lion is creating space actually. They're like, their monkey and Tusker is fucking up, but you're fucking up more. So you have to focus CS here. What you can do, I think, is devour this, because I think the first suggestion of me was the best. Like you blocking in a way that one range creep goes in front, so the lane pushes against you. That's the best one, and make sure you don't use devour for the second, until the second wave at least, because you want it to be pushed. But since it isn't, you wanna like devour the range creep so it pushes. So you push in, and the Monkey King has to be here while like you can pull, like you can do some like funky shit, you know? Okay. So I think, yeah, that's the $25. So like even like this thing, like I feel like it's worth the $25. Maelstrom. So like against, you gotta like realize, look at the lane. If you think it's gonna be hard, you wanna like fuck up the creep wave as much as possible, whether it's pushing or pulling. Okay? Okay. Gyro Mighty, normally I would agree, but with Dooms, you move so slow, so if you walk behind to eat the creep, you're gonna have to use one regen for sure. And the first wave is gonna like be pushed in, so it's like being, yeah, like alright, so the creeps pushing is not the worst. Creeps being creeps being stable is the worst, but creeps being pushed in is like, it's not good too, you know. So yeah, the best option is like you want to pull the wave. Yeah, but if you go behind to eat the tower, eat the creep against Monkey King, you get damaged a shit ton. So yeah. So I think the best is, yeah, doing what I said. Of course, I might be a little bit biased, but yeah. Scorched Earth does a lot of damage too. I think you want this more than the Infernal Blade. This does like 200 damage, like, makes you move fast, yada yada yada. And if you like read what it actually does more damage. In cases like this, like where it's so hard to lane because of the monkey and the tusk, you gotta think of your position 4 and yourself like, as a team. So what can you, as a team, get the most out of this lane? I think the most you can get out of this lane is let Lion play like a pussy and get the XP and like get whatever he can top, and you just go jungle. And you stack, you know, have higher levels in Scorched Earth. You don't even have to get Doom at level 6. I think you can like get Scorched Earth to farm the waves, you know, farm with the Lion. Yeah. You can stay in the jungle. Just let the Lion lane. But you can't lane the Monkey King. Lion cannot lane the Monkey King. So just might as well let the Lion lane. Because Lion can't jump. And you can come lane when you're 6, like with a Doom.
On my watch.
And also, if the offlaner is having such a shit time like this, like you're not 6 by 5 minutes, by 10 minutes, you should get the tomb. Just a small thing. So in these cases, where there's a huge wave and there's a catapult, it's just better to pull the creeps all the way here. That way, like the tower can finish off the catapult as soon as possible, rather than like the tower finish the catapult after after you two finish the wave. That way, like it doesn't take shitload of damage though. Despite what a lot of people say, this creep, tomato creep, is your best creep, like early mid game. This creep makes you really strong in laning, both laning too. Yep. It's the strongest creep. I have a YouTube channel called Febby TV. I've a little bit of a Doom guide there. Thank God you didn't watch that YouTube channel, or else like you wouldn't have came to me first with the $25. No refunds, by the way. But just to sum it up, basically in like 10 seconds, what I said was, when you're playing Doom, you're most threatening when you can Inferno Blade every 4 seconds. This hero is not a tank, it's like a right clicker. So you wanna itemize to like be a threat. So BKB blink, yep, instead of like tanking it up. Right? This hero can tank. It's not a like you have low armor. Sure, you have high HP, high regen, but you have low armor and like I don't know. It's just not a tank. So yep. Like Tide Underlord, that's a tank, but you're not a tank. You just have high HP. Your hero doesn't feel good tank. You played pretty good that fight. Fuck the team. You're not the tank. Spec is the tank this game. You can tank with BKB too. Like you can break their position by like BKB and running the fuck in. BKB is really good on Doom. Yep. Nobody can out man fight the BKB Doom. When you're running away from Tusk, don't run in a straight line. Like kind of like do a zigzag, so it can't ice shard block you. It's really easy to dodge ice shard block if you zigzag. Okay, okay. Do you see the map? Alright, so two cases. When you're losing really hard, or when you're against Invis heroes, you have to be clumped up together. Not like as 5, but like you wanna like go in pairs, so you don't get like separated and like you don't get picked off. Right now I feel like everyone's doing their own thing. Once you're like, you guys are like all different parts of the map. You guys have to back each other up and like be patient. Don't hit creeps a lot. So I think like every time you're doing this up, you have to try to bait a core. Cause they for sure like will wanna keep going. Otherwise, you're gonna get picked off. They're gonna get picked off, and there's no like comeback potential. But like if you bait each other, there's at least a comeback potential of like where you can fight. Yeah. So like, you know how I always say like Dota is all about like taking objectives and taking towers. When you're ahead, it's all about taking towers. When you're behind, it's all about getting kills. Like bait them into getting kills. That's why when you're ahead, like you can't like be sidetracked and like dive too much. That's how you get like fucking comebacked. You have to focus towers. If you focus towers, then you're not gonna get baited. So yeah. Like this looks fucking very good. You guys are like playing under a ward. It's pity like you guys are fighting 5v4, but I think this is like the best move that I've seen out of your team. You're being patient. You're kind of in the front. Very good, very good. Oh, fuck. There's two spares. Two spares, they annihilated your team. Literally two spares. Like the Monkey King ulti didn't do shit. Oh. But yeah, that's how you're supposed to play. That was really good. That was like the best fight that I've seen and best fight you're gonna get. Level 10 talent, it's the right one. 20 scorched earth damage. Level 15 talent, a lot of people get the left one, but I think the right talent is pretty OP. Yeah, the right talent is pretty OP. Get the 20% evasion. Oh no. Alright, so like if the first initial jump or like first initial like plan to kill the hero fails, don't chase anymore. I think the bounty hunter chase was really bad. You guys came back so much. Let's get the bounties. Everything's good. Guy comes around, fingers the line. There's that guy. Don't chase here, don't chase here. How in God's name are you gonna kill him? No, don't chase, just get the bounty runes. I think the first six deaths was like okay, but after that you have to group up with your team more. You knew that you guys were really behind. You're kind of getting owned, so you can't play solo anymore. Like playing solo doesn't do you any good. You don't push out creep waves that fast. You're losing, so like you have to aim cures, and so you have to work with your teammate. Whether like alright you can push, then you tell your team to like back you up and you know try. Get ready to counter initiate. Another thing about this hero is if you have ulti, you don't want to be shown. Like, you want to be a threat. So don't show yourself in the lanes because they will just dodge you and they will know like where to not go. If you don't have Doom, then that's your time to farm. Yeah. It's your time to like come back and farm. Go to a dead lane, spam W because you're not gonna fight. Spam everything. I think centaur creep is like the best creep mid late game. Yeah. So tomato creep. Isn't this 9 armor? It's like 8 armor. So like the armor is not bad, but the damage I feel like it's not like the Monkey King. It's not the physical damage, but like it's the invoker. So the force armor is not bad in certain situations, like when they're all like physical damage. I think ice armor is really good over the centaur stun, but most of the times because like a team would be balanced with the magical and the physical damage, the damage I put, so get centaur stun because your build would have like a blink BKB too, so like you wanna be a threat, like blink centaur stun 2 and blink doom the other one, so like you're disabling 3% at once. Yeah. Zero is clearly it's not a tank. Not a tank. Loud. I think the overall conclusion, like the main shit is when you're behind, you gotta like play for getting kills. You can't come back through getting gold. Especially if you're not a wave clear hero. Doom is not a wave clear hero, so you gotta come back through trying to bait the core who is a creep hitter like Lina or Spectre. You know, just follow them and like bait them and like kind of control them about like what to do, where to go, instead of playing your game solo. If you're winning or if it's even, like you can play solo, but yeah, if you're losing, like try to play with your team to come back. Yes, you should itemize towards being like a right clicker. This hero, Doom feels the best when you can use third skill every 4 seconds, right? Right. You wanna like break their positions by like fucking running the fucking and like smacking their fucking head every 4 seconds. Shouldn't I stay in the dead lane pushing it out to create space? Nope. It depends. when your Doom is down, I think you should do that job. But if you're losing, or like if there's an invis hero, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Cause like you're just gonna die for no reason, or like everyone's just feeding. If you do that solo. Like, so fuck the dead lane concept, fuck Dota that you know if you're losing so hard, you gotta like play to find kills. You gotta make the game very chaotic. It's like the same thing in laning phase. I told you, like in the laning phase, like if the lane looks too hard before the creeps meet, you should kind of look at their lane and like realize, oh, this lane's gonna be hard. Then like you do some like weird shenanigans, like fucking devouring behind the tower, or like letting one creep go, or like like pulling the second wave. Same thing when you're losing. When you're losing, you wanna fuck up the game as much as possible, like by not playing like a normal Dota, by like smoking to their fucking fountain, or like smoking like weirdly, like getting kills where it's like least expected, shit like that. That's actually super worth 25. Thank you, Mary Storm. I actually feel really good because I feel like I taught you a lot. It's not just about the Doom. It's like when you're losing, or like when you're gonna lose the lane, or like when you're losing the game. Did Notaire say that? I think Notaire said that, right? I think he learned it from Eternal Envy, because Eternal Envy is like really good at that shit. That's why he's really good at like comebacking from 2 mega creeps down, because like you have to do like some really stupid shit to come back. Like you can't play normal when you're losing. You gotta like go crazy. You gotta come up with really creative ways like to fuck them. No, I'm not saying he does stupid shit. I'm saying he is creative.